Hi friends, I am Dinesh Vohra, feeling absolutely delighted and happy while addressing you people. Today's program will be in the English language, and there had been some demand from some of our viewers that uh, if we could start some programs in English language. So today, being the 1st of January, this is our first program, this year at least in English. Although few years back we used to give some programs in English language, but this will be first this year. Before I begin with my subject, let me wish you all a very happy 2024. I wish you a fine health, lots of wealth, and of course, the peace in the family. That's the foremost thing. India at the crossroads 2024 will be make or break year for Indian democracy, undoubtedly. We have almost traveled 75 years since independence. We have seen the progress. We have seen the growth at the bottom level also. And for last 30 years, since 1990, when the economy was opened by Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh, we have been growing almost at the pace of 10 to 12% minimum. That is called the nominal growth per year, irrespective of any of the prime minister, be it Narasimha Rao or Inder Kumar Gujral, Atal Bihari Devgowda, or any other PM. The growth trajectory had been good, and one of the finest spell of the growth had come between 2004 and 2010 when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister of India. Of course, the second phase of Manmohan Singh was not that healthy, but overall growth was pretty good. But now in the 2024, what we are facing right now is whether India will survive the democracy. The onslaught on the democracy is one of the most severe in the recent decades, what we have seen. It's a most severe threat to our democracy. And the question is that, will democracy survive? I think when the people will going out in 2024, there will be a question mark whether you are voting for democracy or you're voting for autocracy. I think the future of India, survival of India in present form will much depend on how you vote there. I believe if you don't vote for the democracy, it will be the death of democracy. What you're witnessing right now is the seeds being sown in the name of democracy or the mother of democracy, but what we are witness to basically the transition of a democratic state into an electoral or elected autocracy. It is something similar to what is happening in Israel, in Turkey, maybe in some other nations where people are getting elected democratically, but they are turning immediately into an autocrat, dictators. And that's the thing which is being accepted by very large number of people in our country also. We have a class of people, maybe around 20 crore, 25 crore, 30 crore people who are hardcore fans of Modi, irrespective of the blunders and the wrongs he is doing in the political arena, in the economic arena, and in the social arena. They overlook everything. They find no fault with Modi's decisions. Even if the statehood from the Kashmir is being taken away, even from Ladakh it is being taken away, it is being treated as normal. It's a breach of sovereignty. It's a breach of the rights of the people in a democracy. And once you snatch even the so-called assembly or Vidhan Sabha from the Ladakh, still people don't cry about it. They think it's very normal. We are slowly turning into now a religious state like Iran. Maybe we are more like Iran now, where a dharma guru like Ayatollah Khomeini or maybe the Mr. Modi is more emerging as a political Baba or a dharma guru, rather than you can say a political prime minister of this country or a manager for this country to manage it for 5 years. Slowly, the transition from a democracy into a deeply religious state, which is absolutely reaching the level of fanaticism. And you find these 20 to 30 crore people who are fanatics, the fanatic Hindus right now, I would say. This is something what we had witnessed few decades back in Islamic world. When the people in those Islamic countries, many Islamic countries, including some of our neighbors, they had taken recourse to the religious activities, even in the politics. And slowly they tarnished their democracy. Slowly they demolished their democracy. And now we have started where they had started 2 or 3 decades back, maybe in Afghanistan, or maybe in the Pakistan, or maybe in Iran even. So consequences will be the same. If seeds are same, if seeds are of division and the poison, of course the fruits will be same. So slowly we are turning into a, you can say, a fanatic state, a fanatic religious state of Hinduism. What you witnessed in the Manipur last year, now of course next year of 2024, in 2023, what we witnessed, and more than 250 churches were burnt there, hundreds of people were killed in the name of religion, that tribals are Christians and the people who are in the Imphal Valley, they are the mighty Hindus. The first time we had seen in 75 years the conflict between the two communities as open, as naked as we saw, and as violent as we saw in the Manipur. But our Prime Minister was least concerned. He never bothered about it. He never went there. He never sympathized until a video came out with the 2 naked women being paraded. That shows the apathy, that shows the how far the Hinduism, the fanatical classes, they have gone, and they want to almost eliminate everything. And the theories of RSS and the VHP and the BJP, Bajrang Dal, they had been aligned so strongly that their job is to now destroy everything which comes in their way. It's more of a bulldozer culture right now. Like one of the so-called these right-wing leaders, Indresh Kumar from RSS and others, something like, he said that on the 22nd of January, when there will be Prana Pratishtha in the Rama temple in Ayodhya, there should be chanting of Rama in the mosques of India, in the churches of India, and also in the gurdwaras and other religious places in India. Now, this is something which we had not heard before. This is first time that the right-wing extremism or fanaticism has reached where the people, the Muslims in a mosque will be chanting Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram. People in the church, they should chant Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram. They should do the so-called all kind of things, religious chanting of the Hinduism. And in gurdwaras also, same thing they should do. Specifically, these things were mentioned. It means now this fanaticism is reaching a new level where other communities of other religion are being forced to follow the way what has been dictated to them. So in a way, we are reaching a stage in Indian democratic system right now where we are deeply a fanatic state, like a Islamic state. So in real terms, Islamophobia or Hindu phobia are now emerging as a real threat. I fear sometimes that the Hindus can be a much bigger threat than the Islam to the democratic world or the outer world in the coming years. The way we are evolving ourselves, the way we are reaching the levels of new levels of fanaticism, maybe that tomorrow we may pick up the something else and we may kill the communities also. This is something you can say which I can't think of. Let me come to the other point then. The other point in this Indian democracy which concerns me, the bipolarity and multipolarity of this world. Whereas India stands united with the forces like so-called Israel or Erdogan of the Turkey, we are right now supporting the massacre of the poor Palestinians. More than 20,000 have been killed. More than 6,000 children have died. More than 6,000 women have died. And the whole world is watching, and nobody's trying anything. Rather, they are opposing the ceasefire in United Nations. And India stands firmly with the Israel. There is not even a tear falling down from the eyes of the people on the massacre in Palestine. Nobody's crying. It's a new word. America wants a bipolar world, America versus China. India wants a multipolar world, but maybe right now there might be a chance of the multipolar world here and there. But slowly, India will be drifting towards China and Russia because the people like Narendra Modi, as per their so called egos and nature, they don't align well with the democratic forces. Mr. Modi is dictator, he's autocrat. He aligns very well with the Kim Jong Un of the Korea. He aligns very well with the so-called Jinping and Putin. And look, even yesterday I had given one of my topics on Major Shaitan Singh and his memorial in Ladakh. Now, this area which was ours, and our people in Ladakh, they used to carry their animals for the grazing purpose there in the Ladakh zone, that one. And India was forced to sign by China that this should be a buffer zone. This is neither yours nor mine. And India signed it. We used to go there. We used to pray on the Major Shaitan Singh Paramveer Chakra memorial, so-called. Now this stands demolished, and demolished in the regime of Mr. Modi. Who will say we have not lost the land? All the grazing land of hundreds of square kilometers, we are lost there, and we were forced to sign, and we had signed. We lost the Damchok and Dapsang in Ladakh also. Again lost 2,000 square kilometers, but nobody's crying because the blame lies on the head of so-called Mr. Nehru. Only all the crimes are on the head of Mr. Nehru only, not on the Modi or some other person. Think of the religious state that you can use the gods to your benefit. Maryada Purushottam, Shri Ram International Airport's name was overnight changed while it was approved, registered, not just in the Civil Aviation Ministry, but also in the International Civil Aviation Organization, Geneva. And code was given for Ayodhya, AYJ. But overnight, Modi thought, I have to take the votes of the poorer section, Valmiki Samaj, so I shall change the name. I think had there been some other government and they would have changed the name of this airport, there would have been, I think, God knows, in this country. But Mr. Modi removes the name of Rama and no one cries. Because his Rama is a political Rama, not the religious Rama which we worship here. One more thing I would like to discuss here is the falling mental health of the people in this democracy. The reason is very simple. All the time we have been asked now to work for almost 70 hours a week by some people. I think they talk more like an agent of the Mr. Modi rather than anybody else. The Infosys chief Narayan Murthy. When whole world is working around maybe 40 hours or 35 hours a week and giving them sufficient time for their health and recovery, we want them to work till death, 70 hours, that you sacrifice your entire present and future for this government or for this nation, what he says. He takes the name of a nation. If you want to make the nation great, you need to work 70 hours. So, Mr. Narayan Murthy, what shall we do in the rest of the hours? Just let us know. Apart from sleeping and taking bath, what else we should do? Isn't it ridiculous on your part? And he has been severely criticized, treating the human beings like animals, as subjugated people. What he thinks, are we slaves? That's the theory. Mr. Infosys chief wants to convert India into slavery, where the people will be working for 70 hours, just like the slaves we have seen in the era of, in some of the movies like Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments. And India had gone through slavery for many, many centuries. The today's modern czars, like Narayan Murthy, want to convert India again into a slavery. But the modern day slavery, what they call in the name of the efficiency, actually. And I'm worried about the mental health of the people. Health in the sense, that 80% of the Indian working population, male or female, they are under deep stress. Even the non-working people, even the housewives, they are under stress. Their health standards are falling down. Almost 90% of India is under deep stress. Children are under deep stress. Youth is under deep stress. Middle-aged people and the old people are under deep stress. Who's trying anything just to remove those kinds of stresses? None. Nobody. That's one reason that today's kids, a very large number of kids, they say we don't want to have, rather young couples, I would say, we don't want to have kids. They don't want families. Why? Because this stress is telling pretty heavily, and the culture what we have evolved is basically earn and spend. Today's earning will be spent today. Tomorrow's earning will also be spent today. Probably they have learned from Mr. Modi. Modi has taken so-called loans. Every year, the borrowings are done. Now these borrowings are done for the 40 years and 50 years tenure. It means the people who will be buying the money now from the RBI for the purpose of daily expenditure, Modi government, the money will be repaid by the person who will be in the office in 2073. That speaks about the mental health of person, that you want to inflict the wounds on the people who will be coming later on to rule this country. So I'm deeply worried about the mental health of the people, and nobody's bothered. I'm telling you, nobody's bothered. That as a country, we are going to the dogs, rather, I would say. Health-wise, we are going to the dogs. Even young deaths are taking place. People just doing the very normal job, a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, they're falling and they're dying. People in the Garba, 9-year-old child, 11-year-old child, while playing Garba, they fall down and die. A record number of deaths have taken place in Gujarat. It's all after the corona. It has had a deepening impact on our psyche and our health. We need to take care of these things. The stress factor is just killing us, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody wishes to talk, but everyone is under deep stress. Coming to the education and health, continuously, our expenditure on education and expenditure is going down. Education and health is going down. In education, about 10 years back, in Manmohan Singh's time, we used to spend approximately 0.55%. Central government used to spend 0.55% of GDP of the education. And now, in 2024, we are spending approximately 0.27% of the GDP. It means our expenditure on education has gone down by 50% in 10 years. Similarly, on the health, 50% expenditure is down, and probably government is giving the message to the people of this country that education and health is not my responsibility. Please look after your kids. Please look after yourself. As far as your health and education is concerned, I am not bothered. My job is not to make educational highways. My job is not to make a health highways for you. My job is to make the national highways and express highway. That's all. How foolish we can be. How foolish. Even if we include the education expense of the state government, it doesn't reaches even 2% of GDP. Most of the nice countries, good country, developed nations, they spend almost 10% or more than 10% of GDP on education. They care about it, but we don't care because we want illiterate people. We want so-called the goats and the sheeps in this country, because if they remain illiterate, they will follow Mr. Modi, and their illiteracy is taken as pride. Even the people who are educated, the middle class people, if you look at them, they're die-hard fans of Mr. Modi. Even if you hit them hard on the back, even if you take entire money from them, they say, no, he's doing for the nation. He can kill us also. He can snatch everything from us. We'll do it in the name of Rama, in the name of Krishna, in the name of religion. These so-called, I feel pity for them, that the idiocracy and the stupidity reaches those heights. But this is happening. On the trade front, if you see that with the China, the trade gap is widening, and right now it's the $51 billion just in the 8 months. It may touch $100 billion as it was in last year. Even with the Russia and America, we have gone in minus now. Our goods are not selling now. In last 8 months total, it means 2/3 of the year, we have been able to only export $278 billion of goods, which is much down than the last year. And the imports is $445 billion, which is slightly down from the last year. So the worries are there on both the fronts here. But who's bothered? You are being fed of the 5 trillion economy that maybe in 4 or 5 years we will reach there. And then you'll be reaching in 2047 with a developed nation called India, Viksit Rashtra. You want to live today or 2047? You want to have the food today in 2047. But he's giving you feed for 2047. That's the tragedy. And you believe it. And then you say, it's fine with Mr. Modi. One more areas of concern in this democracy, and nobody's bothered, not even government, that is technology. Technology and artificial intelligence, the way they are taking away the things from us on everyday basis. Deepfakes are there. Technology is subjugating us day and night, and we are unable to deal with it, except that we don't have the time for the people, we don't have the time for relationship, we are having the time for only for technology, and everybody is glued so the technological gadgets only. But entire this technology is coming from the West. The strange part is that when the first flight from Delhi to Ayodhya reached, the people who were chanting Hanuman Chalisa, what they said, today we have come to the Ayodhya by Pushpak Viman. So I'm very happy. Ravan had the Pushpak Viman. And we take great pride that the Pushpak Viman was there in the ancient times with us, with the Ravan. That kind of technology we had. But now the Pushpak Vimans are being built by the science, only science, Vigyan, by Boeing and Airbus. You're flying in a Boeing or Airbus, not in Pushpak Viman. If you want to thank, don't thank this culture, thank those people, those who have put in the hard work of years and years, and they have developed the science. Everything you're using today in your home, everything, and you talk about your culture, ancient past, keep on talking. But everything you're using at home is from the West. Your electricity, your bulb, your tube light, your fan, your microwave, your furniture, your mobile, your laptops, your fridge, your air conditioners, your trains, your train tracks, your buses, aircrafts. Everything which is being seen is coming from the West. Sorry. What we have given to world? Nothing. Zero. 2,000 years back. After that, nothing. After that, we have given zero to the world. So what we are using right now is everything is being developed in the West. Nothing we have developed, not even a single product of India is on the world shelf right now, neither in the hardware nor the software. If you got so much love, then have your own Balgadi, bullock cart. Travel in that one, because you are not developed the trains. They have been developed by the British people or other English people. Entire set of technology, entire set of allopathy, entire set of dentistry, they come from them. Entire set of so-called engineering and their courses had come from them. The entire set of educational system has come from them, not from us. But then we take great pride. Sometimes we should say thank you also. These Britishers and Europeans and Americans, Japanese, they have done the hard work there. And we are using it now. But we are almost selfish people. We never say thank you to them. Because we had given nothing, zero to them, zero, absolutely zero. So technology is something we are using, but we always sing songs of the past that our technology had. Use that one, not then. Why are you using this technology? Why you want to use the so-called Boeing and Airbus so-called planes to fly? Go with Pushpak Viman, call it now. Then, one thing which is troubling me most is Modi is selling the picture of future, a virtual picture, which is not there. India of 2047. What I have to do with for 2047, sir? I need food today. I need to pay the fees today for the kids. I need to pay the doctor today. I need to travel today. I have to pay for it. So I shall be happy with the 2047, but don't live today. Live in future. And more than 20, 30 crore so-called stupid people, idiots, they don't apply their mind. I doubt whether they have the mind. And Modi wants such people, these stupid people who can follow him blindly and see no harm in that one. So keep feeding them on the virtual pictures of 2047. You'll be very happy. Then there is a monopolization of the business. The two Gujaratis basically at the top, and the two Gujarati businessmen from the Gujarat, they are controlling everything. More than 50% of India's wealth is with them. And government is giving them with both the hands. Both the hands. Today, I had some kind of facts with me. And that was from the Mint, actually. And it stated, in India, per capita income for the average of the highest number of states, which are the most developed states in India, and per capita income for them is 3,10,201. It is from the today's Mint paper, economic newspaper. 3,10,201. And the poorest state of India, they have got the average of 28,679 rupees. This annual, not monthly. Think the inequality between this. Think of it. But who's bothered? Nobody's bothered about it. You tell them about the economy. You tell them about the facts. You tell them about the debt of India, that we are in the debt trap. Nobody's bothered. And then say, loan liya, Modi ghar thodi leke jayega. Of course, Mr. Manmohan Singh has taken the loan home. Atal Bihari Vajpayee had taken the loan home. Indra Kumar Gujral and Dev Gowda and other prime ministers, they had taken the money home actually after borrowing. Only Mr. Modi is not taking home. But then each and every tradition has to be broken, and somebody who breaks it, who has broken? Modi. And then he's being lauded as a man of future. He's being revered as a Lord Rama, new Lord Rama of the country. Lord Rama is now relegated to second place now. Now the Swami of this Brahmand is Narendra Modi. And nobody speaks anything. Entire set of institutions have gone into silence, including your judiciary. No, absolutely all the judgments are going in his favor. All judgments. Openly I am saying it. Then crime. On 22nd, celebrate Diwali. Light diyas. My God. Now people will do it. And then they'll say, Ram Rajya ki sthapana ho gayi Bharat mein. Ram Rajya is being established in a state with the highest number of crime, highest number of the kidnappings, highest number of murders, highest number of rapes in Uttar Pradesh in the country. And India is a country of crime. NCRB figures, if you look at National Crime Record Bureau, nobody's safe in this country. Like the case has happened of the BHU girl who was molested, abused by the BJP IT cell people, 3 BJP IT cell people. And the BJP doesn't want this case to be highlighted on the Godi media channels because it brings a bad name. It speaks volumes about the BJP being filled with the so-called criminal elements all over. Almost 50% of their MPs are having the crime records as per the ADR reports. I'm not saying it. Ram Rajya, with lakhs of murders, rapes and kidnappings in this country, with thousands of little girls are being pushed into prostitution every year, where thousands and thousands of kids are being kidnapped and put into the begging. Can you call it Ram Rajya? You don't have any shame, absolutely. And then we have got a spineless middle class. Openly, I'm saying it. Spineless middle class. You hit them hard and they won't speak. Still, they will rent your chants. That's the shameful thing. Because the slavery has gone deep into DNA. That's the problem. That's the problem. The state of judiciary, I have talked. Environment. We want to have a world-class highways to the four dham. Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath. Without respecting the delicacy of so-called Himalayas. And every expert has warned, don't do it. There should be 2-lane roads, not 4-lane roads. But nobody listens. They want crores and crores people to be at these dhams so that they can get a lot of revenue, a lot of money. But then Himalayas don't forgive. What we have seen, the destruction of landslides and cloud burst and so-called sinking of tunnels and highways at every stretch. You'll see it more often. One earthquake in Uttarakhand and Himachal is going to flatten it out. And there are real dangers. The way we are playing with so-called environment, I think the people will face the consequences, because what we are sowing is the seeds of poison, seeds of destruction of environment with a naked destruction. And what we're doing in a Nicobar Island as a transit port is coming up there, this is naked demolition and destruction of the so-called conserved forest there. But who's bothered then? Business is more important. Giving the business to two Gujarati people are more important rather than protecting the nation and its so-called green belt. Education and health, I had talked. And then open loot of fares, whether it's taxi fares, surge fares, train dynamic fares. In Diwali time, Bombay to Patna, second AC ticket, which is costing around 2,500 rupees in normal course, was costing 11,000 rupees. And when the flashes came into the picture, matter went to the parliament, and then rail minister says, yes, there is something wrong and we'll look into it. But they never said, we'll look into the airfares loot. The 5,000 rupees airfares are being charged with 50,000 rupees, 25,000, 30,000. And they say India is progressing and we're getting more GST. If you increase the fare from 2,000 to 11,000, you'll get more GST. There's no doubt. There is GST on the train fare also. If you increase the fare, the so-called airfare from 5,000, 50,000, 30,000, 40,000, you'll get inflated GST, definitely. If you sell the hotel rooms which are being sold at 4,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, now being sold in 10,000 rupees, you'll get more GST, sir. Your production has not gone up. What has gone up is GST, because the everything price has gone up. Just 2-3 years back, if you remember, a Parle G packet, 5 rupee, it used to have 10 to 12 biscuits. Then it came to 8 biscuits. Price remains same. Then it came to 6 biscuits. Same thing is happening. The packets and the contents are getting smaller to keep the price same. Because if you increase it, then there is a loss of customer. So राम नाम की लूट है, लूट सके सो लूट, अंतकाल पछताएगा जब प्राण जाएंगे छूट. This is something which I wanted to convey to you. I wanted to tell you that India is at the crossroads. 2024 will be the make or break year for Indian democracy. And there had been a lot of concerns. It's for you people, when you go out and when you vote and when you push the button, only then the change will happen. If you don't go out and remain at home and then expect the changes there, it won't. It will never. Some of my friends are saying, why don't you preach in Afghanistan or Pakistan? I think I'd like to say one thing to Mr. Indrajit Pandey. Happy New Year to you. Please speak same language in your so-called other people also. I'll preach in my country, not in other countries. And Mr. Hitesh Pandey, he's also abusing. Maybe you are abusing the same thing in your family also. But I would say still, Happy New Year to you also. And Happy New Year to everyone who has come to my show. After a long time, I'm doing a show in the English language so that the more and more people can understand internationally. And people who have joined me, some of the names I can take: Manjeet, Jogeshwari Junction, Haran, Kumar, Kulmitra, Pradeep Bambu, Arun Dawle, Indrajit Pandey, Ashish Mishra, then Gil Satkar, and some of the people are there, of course, H at R, S, H. So all depend on you all people, that how you take on, how you go out, how you vote. If you want the India of your dreams, a democratic India, go out. Otherwise, what you are going to witness, because I still remember one of the share of Rahat Indori Sahab. लगेगी आग तो आएंगे कई घर जद में, लगेगी आग तो आएंगे कई घर जद में, इस मोहल्ले में हमारा ही मकान थोड़े है. When there will be fire and the society will be gulped, nobody will be spared. Not even those people who are die-hard fans of Modi and fanatics, so-called. What I fear right now is a Hindu fanaticism, which is emerging fast, and that can be a threat to the entire world also. We should keep praying it doesn't happen. If you still think that India should be a Hindu Rashtra, then you're signing a death warrant for this country and nothing else, because countries then don't survive. The countries which go in the religious manner, they suffer and ultimately they break. That is what we have seen in the history. So thank you very much for being with me, and I wish you once again all a very, very happy New Year 2024. May God bless you with the fine peace, a lot of affluence, very good health, and a good thought process. Thank you very much.